is Jennifer Goldburn. I am your local United Way representative. Very happy to be here year after year. I know many of you I recognize because last year and the year prior I was here speaking to you all. So I do hope that my message is a little different for you and that it's not the same thing over and over. I'd like to first start off by saying thank you. Thank you because without your contributions, we don't do what we do in our community. And last year, thanks to your contributions, matched with others in our community, including mine, we all helped raise over $21 million. Okay? And that $21 million stayed right here in our community, which is huge. Because of you all, we were able to serve over 600,000 people who truly need help. And so, again, I thank you. I know it's very tough. It's still a tough economy for many. But I will tell you that I go out and I speak to many companies where their employees are making minimum wage, and they are still giving. And they are leadership givers as well, which is truly amazing. So I wanted to remind you that we do work with 64 partner agencies. And I say that because we do not support the agencies. We support the programs that are very critical for our community needs. And so some of the agencies that we work with you might be familiar with: YMCA, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Clubs, the Spring, the Crisis Center, Salvation Army, American Red Cross. So this, just to name a few, American Cancer Society, United Cerebral Palsy as well. So when we look at these programs, we look at these programs that align in particular with our impact agenda. So of course, you have to focus on the education, right? It's really important. This is our tomorrow. So when we look at the education, when we start to see that 64% of third graders still don't know how to read, to me, that's unacceptable. I don't know about to you, but up until the third grade, children are learning to read. When they get out of the third grade, it changes. They're reading to learn. And many people have this misconception that children will catch up, and that's wrong. They will never catch up. It is very difficult at that point to catch up. So when you hear that some states look at those kids, that number of kids that don't know how to read by that time frame, by that level, that's how they determine the number of jail beds that they're going to need. So we as a community need to work together, and our focus through United Way is about making sure that we're providing mentors for children, that if they don't know how to read, we're identifying those children early on that don't know how to read, and we're helping them. We have a great program called Reading Pals that we are asking for 400 volunteers. So if you have time, listen up. We're asking that you give at least an hour a week. You can break it up and donate your time. Go to a school nearest you on both sides of it. So it's called Reading Pals. It's a 24-week session or commitment. Obviously, we do realize that things come up, but we can always work around that. But that's what that program does. So that's the mentor piece. That's okay. That's a nice song. And then the next area, obviously, that we focus on is just making sure that the children, that their parents know how to read. And if they don't, we want to identify them. And we want to make sure that we help those parents with learning how to read, because we know that it's real important. So also we have after school and before and after school programs and summer care programs to help children as well. And it's all funded through United Way. So the next area we focus in is financial stability. We prepare taxes, and it's people like you all volunteering your time, trained by IRS to prepare taxes for people in our community who make $57,000 or less a year. And we do that for free. Why do we do this? We realize that many people do not have $200 as their disposable income. And so they're going to take it from someplace. And it's probably going to be their rent, or their car payment or utility bill. And they'll say, okay, I'll pay it back. And guess what? They never do. And then it ends up spiraling down. And then it gets worse, and they have to use our services. So we provide these services for free so that we can help them. We also realize that every year the government ends up with a surplus of money from the earned income tax credit. And why is that? Because most of these tax sites are not asking those qualifying questions if a person has a child or has children. And so they're not qualifying them for the EITC tax. So that's something that we definitely focus on. We will even go up to back 3 years and review their taxes. So it's real important. Then the next area we focus on is building vibrant neighborhoods. We go into neighborhoods that no one wants to go into. Why? Because we feel that there's no such thing as a bad neighborhood. It's just bad circumstances. And so we go in and we gather the residents together and we do a town hall meeting. And we ask the residents, what is it that you're lacking? What is it that you need? And once we find out, then we go back to the drawing board and we sit with partners in our area, in our community, and we start to think about how we can bring some resources to those communities. For an example, we are in Campbell Park. Anyone know about Campbell Park? Have you heard? Okay. Campbell Park is a community that sits right next to the Tampa Bay Rays Stadium. And I want to say about a few years ago, unfortunately, there was a little girl who was sleeping, and there was some gang activity going on in the area, and bullets were fired, and one of the bullets hit through her room and killed her, hit her right in the head. She was about, I want to say, 7 years old. Her name was Paris. When this happened, the Tampa Bay Rays, really, it hit home with them. They were very hurt and upset because it was blocks away from where their stadium was. And they felt like they needed to do more. They wanted to do more for this community. And at the same time, we received a call from the superintendent of the school, Campbell Park Elementary. Children aren't coming to school. We don't understand why. We need your help. So we went into the community, town hall meeting, asked the residents, why aren't you sending your kids to school? We'd like to know. What we heard was really something that we never expected. We don't send our kids to school because many of us leave early in the morning to go to work, single parent homes, and we can't walk our children to school. There is no school bus because we're close to the school. And we're afraid because of the gang activity that's happening in our community and the drugs, that our children will not return home, that we won't see them again. Okay. So we went back with our community partners and the Rays, and we decided that we wanted to form what we call a walking school bus. And how do we do that? We have residents that don't work in that community, and they were already taking their children to school. And so what we did was coordinate with the other parents and the other houses so that they would go to those places and pick up those children and walk all together as a community to school and walk back. So that's what that's called. The last thing that I'm going to go over with you in our impact agenda, I'm going to kind of demonstrate. What does this look like to you? Plastic bag. Plastic bag. Okay, plastic bag. That's it. Anything else? No one's creative enough? I got so many things at my last meeting. This was a raincoat. Someone said that if they can use it as a weapon. That was very interesting. To us, it's a garbage bag. It's a plastic bag, right? To someone that's on the street and that's homeless, this is all they have. This is everything. And when they come up to one of our agencies and they say to the caseworker, can you please help me? I'm homeless. I don't have any food. I don't have a place to sleep. Can you please help me? We give them a voucher. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten for days. Can you please help me with a warm meal? We give them a voucher. I had to flee in the middle of the night because I'm in an abusive situation, and I need to leave. And so I've slept in my car overnight with my 2 children. This is all we have. Please, can you help me? We give a voucher, voucher, voucher. This is real, and sometimes because we work and we have our daily lives and we're not in that situation, we tend to look forward and not think about the realities and so many stories that are in our community. And so with your investment through United Way, you allow us to take a large portion of your investment and focus on the safety net services. The food, the shelter, the clothing, and helping those domestic violence situations and victims. So we truly thank you. Now I know that Microsoft is a true supporter of United Way. We know that because on a national level you all received the Summit Award. So we thank you for that. But I also realize that you give on a year-round basis. And United Way focuses on a certain week, a few weeks or a month. So we're asking that if you truly would like to give and give through United Way, your investment during this time allows us to be impacted, our community to be impacted the most. Because during this time is when we start making these decisions on where the money needs to be allocated, where the programs still need to be supported in our community. Your investment, obviously we've seen, matched with others, makes a huge difference. I do want to mention we did receive a great opportunity, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this and then I'm going to end. The Helios Education Foundation gave us $1 million grant, and we are so excited about this, but they have some guidelines and they've asked us to utilize this as a matching gift and to leverage other gifts in the community. So if you gave last year and you're thinking of increasing your gift by 15% or more, your gift would be matched by the Helios Education Foundation. If you're a Newtown giver and you give up $500 or more, your gift would be matched. Those matching gifts would go straight to support our education and early literacy initiatives that we are so focusing on. I mean, we really need to.
So if we were to let's just say $500 and Microsoft matches, and so that's $500, then is that $1,000 that Helios matches?
So if you give 500, then Microsoft gives another 500, and then the Helios will give another 500. That's 1,500 altogether.
Okay, so they match mine, not the grant total of.
Right.
Okay.
It would just be, yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay.
So it's a great way to leverage. If you're interested in doing this, I ask that you please self-identify, because I don't get a donor list from Microsoft when your results come in, so we have no idea who's giving. Okay, so if you can do that, that would be wonderful, so at least we understand and we can count it. Okay. The next thing is, if anyone wants to be a leadership giver of $1,000, the Raise has a great opportunity. It's called the Step Up Program. If you give at $500, they will match the first $500. Next year, if you give $750, they will match $250. And then the third year is on your own at $1,000. So if you're interested, and the Helios will do an additional match as well. So I just want to let you know that. Otherwise, any gift to the United Way is always well appreciated, and it stays right here in our community. Many of you know we did merge with Sarasota, so we are now United Way Suncoast. And basically that all we're doing is just regionalizing, and just obviously their front office is now at our front office, or sorry, back office is now with our back office, and it really does eventually bring down our administration fee, which is very low as it is. It's 14 cents on the dollar. National average is 25 cents. How do we keep it so low? We have great partners. All of our brochures, everything that we have to be printed, we don't spend that money. That comes straight from Valpak. So We appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening to me, and the food is excellent, so thank you for having us.